Since we launched Belladonna, I am always thinking about what I can offer, especially in these moments in which grave damage is being wrought and we are caught up with witnessing great strife and dire need. I keep coming back to my desire for a container for transformation and resonance, and for the kind of certainty we can only find deep within ourselves. Perhaps after a lifetime of searching, we think this is an excellent vantage to read some poems that encourage us to breathe deep and that provide the best kind of pressure to stay down as long as possible and then to rise into the holiest of moments. We thought we'd accompany these poems with some music that is as stirring as any we've ever heard by the late Sonny Rollins, R.I.P., just last month, May, and the great Rahsaan Roland Kirk, who, if anyone could, might blow you right into glory. Rollins and Kirk provide the perfect register here, as when they play, they seem to be releasing a spirit or presence that swirls and lives among us in perpetuity. I'm calling these poems of presence after Louise Glick. This is what she said. Poems do not endure as objects, but as presences. When you read anything worth remembering, you liberate a human voice. You release into the world again a kind of companion spirit. I read poems to hear that voice, and I write to speak to those I've heard. We hope these poems take up residence in your soul or in your bones, or as some kind of phantom thread that might be holding your future these days. Okay, this next one is by Ross Gay, and it's from Catalog of Unabashed Gratitude. Burial. You're right. The fertilizer's good. It wasn't a gang of dullards came up with chucking a fish in the planting hole, or some midwife got lucky with the placenta. Oh, I'll plant a tree here. And a sudden flush of quince and jam enough for months. Yes, the magic dust our bodies become casts spells on the roots, about which someone else could tell you about the chemical processes. But it's just magic to me, which is why a couple springs ago, when first putting in my 2 bare root plum trees out back, I took the jar which has become my father's house. And lonely for him, and hoping to coax him back for my mother as much as me, poured some of him in the planting holes. And he dove in, glad for the robust air, a slight gust into my nose and mouth, chuckling as I coughed. But mostly he disappeared into the minor yawns in the earth into which I placed the trees, splaying wide their roots, casting the gray dust of my old man evenly throughout the hole, replacing then the clods of dense Indiana soil until the roots and my father were buried, watering it in all with one hand while holding the tree with the other straight as the flag to the nation of simple joy, of which my father is now a naturalized citizen, waving the flag from his subterranean lair, the roots curled around him like shawls or jungle gyms, like hookahs or the arms of ancestors, before breaststroking into the xylem, riding the elevator up through the cambium and into the leaves where, when you put your ear close enough, you can hear him whisper, "Good morning," where, if you close your eyes and push your face, you can feel his stubbly jowls. And good Lord, this year he was giddy at the first real fruit set and nestled into the 30 or 40 plums in the 2 trees peering out from the sweet meat with his hands pressed against the purple skin like cathedral glass. And imagine his joy as the sun wizarded forth those abundant sugars, and I plodded barefoot and prayerful at the first ripe plums swell and blush, almost weepy, conjuring some surely ponderous verse to convey this bottomless grace. You know, oh Father kind of stuff. Hundreds of hot air balloons filling the sky in my chest, replacing his intubated body, listing like a boat keel side up, replacing the steady stream of water from the one eye which his brother wiped before removing the tube, keeping his hand on the forehead until the last wind in the body wandered off, while my brother wailed like an animal, and my mother said, weeping, "It's okay, it's okay, you can go, honey." At all of which my father guffawed by kicking from the first bite buckets of juice down my chin, staining one of my two button-down shirts, the salmon-colored silk one, hollering, "There's more of that!" Almost dancing now in the plum, in the tree, the way he did as a person, bent over and biting his lip, and chucking the one hip out, then the other with his elbows cocked and fists loosely made, and eyes closed and mouth made trumpet, when he knew he could make you happy just by being a little silly and sweet.
In him too, that we got a cross that we must bear. And the cross gets awful heavy. Now there's the black cross, the green cross, the white cross, the double cross, the crisscross, and the lost cross.